It's a beautiful Sunday, October 19th, and you're listening to the Oklahoma Breakdown with Ikard and Lehman, presented by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind is Oklahoma City's premier casino experience, and there are so many reasons why Riverwind is consistently voted OKC's #1 casino, but it all starts with their amazing variety of gaming thrills and excitement. Riverwind's beautiful award-winning environment plays host to more than 2,800 of the latest electronic games with a huge selection of table games, including blackjack match roulette, and Teddy's favorite, co-raps. No matter what your game, Riverwind has it in spades and hearts. And to learn more about their gaming promotions and entertainment options, all you got to do is visit riverwind.com. Riverwind Casino, always a good time, and the Sooners had to have it, and they went and took it, Ted.
They did. They played well. They had that second quarter where they had a chance to really distance themselves. Well, it was 14-0. We had a chance to separate. We had a ton of penalties, a couple of miss hits on special teams, and we stumbled a little bit, but we regrouped and we came out the second half and took the fight to them, which is something that we've been struggling with a little bit. So all in all, I think it's a good building block. Some good stuff come out of it that you can build on and continue rolling forward, man, because this conference is a lot of fun. It's crazy. Anyone can beat anybody on a given weekend. So when you survive in advance on the road, you got to feel good about it.
Sign me up for all of the 19-point conference road wins we can get.
No kidding. There ain't going to be too many fourth quarters like that where you're rolling in the too deep and getting some guys some opportunities. It's wild out there.
It wasn't perfect, but there's a lot of good stuff to talk about on both sides of the ball, and just a really nice bounce back performance coming off the disappointment against Texas, where this team just did not play very well. So I was really proud how this team approached this game and how they played. So let's get into it. Let's start on the defensive side of the ball, Ted. What'd you think of what you saw?
I liked it. Now, I want to first say this. I think the SEC officials are horrible. There's and it's on both sides. It's not just how they officiated us. There are so many blatant, obvious missed calls that are just wild. Like when the spot on the run by Sellers over on their sideline, I have no idea how that official would spot the ball like that. There was all kinds of stuff. It's just I'm officially joining that. I don't know, that the group that says SEC officials are horrible, because
I believe Josh Pate is the chairman of that group, and I believe they meet on Wednesday afternoons.
okay, I'll have to join that group.
We'll get the meeting details from our buddy Pate.
Defensively, I thought it was really good for 95% of it. I got a long list of guys that played well. I thought had big impact plays on the football game. They were 3 of 15 on third down. Pretty good. 224 total yards, which is a good number to hold someone to. And a lot of those came late whenever, you're playing soft coverage and they're throwing it around, and we got the twos in. Held them to 54 rushing yards. We had 2 turnovers. We scored on defense with the safety. And we had a goal line stand on four downs, and another goal line stand where it took them 4 downs to score a touchdown. And we lost a crosser in kind of the mess. That was a tough one, but all in all, I thought it was really good. Defensive line continues to be outstanding. R. Mason Thomas played a great game. Taylor Wine played a great game. And there's a lot of guys kind of scattered throughout. The whole defensive line, for the most part, I thought was excellent. We let a 4th down get on us on a little inside dive play. where just, we got 10 guys in a good spot and one guy gets kind of halfway peeled out of a gap and they just happen to find it and that got out on us. But, aside from penalties, if we didn't have some bad penalties, we totally would have shut them out. And we could have played that game for, 20 quarters, and I don't think they would have put one in the end zone. Owen Heineke had a bad late hit on the sideline, had a tackle, got into the Y and slammed a guy late. It was blatant. It was obvious. It was a bad play that he's going to want to have back. And then we had two pass interference calls on that same drive, and they end up putting it in. But, we did a really good job on the goal line before they found the end zone. I thought the coverage on the back end was really good. Aside from, the pass interference calls, there was one early where we came up and jumped the short route and they hit a route in behind us. We jumped the cheese, but for the most part, the coverage was great. The effort was great. We saw a bunch of different guys that made big plays that contributed. I mean, I got a list here that's probably got, 15, 18 guys on it. But all in all, I thought it was another really stellar effort. Pressure was great. Their offensive line's it's not very good right now, right? And we knew that going in. They're beat up there. They're moving guys around, and Sellers was just under a constant assault. Now, we talked about it coming in. They've given up more sacks than anyone in the conference, but the amount of sacks that Sellers has gotten out of is astounding, and that continued in our game. He is just a very difficult guy to get to the ground. We had some missed opportunities on him, but I didn't really hold those as negatives because I knew that was going to happen coming in. He's that type of player. But we also had plenty of sacks where we did get there and get him to the ground. So all in all, I don't have a whole heck of a lot to go off of. I mean, I thought it was just a good, solid all around performance. What'd you think?
I think the biggest matchup, where we felt we had the biggest advantage coming into the game, was our defensive line against their offensive line. And maybe we didn't realize how big of an advantage it was.
Yeah.
We knew it was big, but dude, that was a bloodbath. Like
Yeah.
maybe this is the nicest way I can put it. I don't know if LaNorris Sellers is good at quarterback or not. Because there was a handful of plays where he got to drop back and go through a progression and throw the football.
Yep.
I mean, maybe a handful of plays. The dude was running for his life the entire football game.
Yep. You saw him at the end. He just kind of like put his hands up in frustration. It's like, what am I supposed to do back here? It's a brutal way to have to play quarterback. I feel for him, and it was tough, but I guess I'll just go through some guys that I thought played well. I thought Kendall Daniels was excellent, especially on a couple of the goal line stands. He had big tackles there, had some nice effort plays. He had a really nice tackle in short yardage, a physical play. He had a sack or a half sack that I thought it was all him, but actually PJ made a go gadget, the 8-foot stretch arms, grabs the legs at the bottom. That was really good. I thought Kip Lewis had a good game, really big hit. He made a nice effort tackle on that trick play where they were trying to throw back to LaNorris Sellers. He had a real nice tackle on one of the jet sweeps. He had that pass breakup late in the game on a blitz. Jaden Jackson played really well on the interior, moved the pocket, penetrated, had a huge hit down on the goal line. That is a very impressive play. I would encourage people to go find that one. Taylor Wine was fantastic. This dude continues to get better and better. Had an awesome stop effort, retracing his steps, tackled LaNorris Sellers on a goal line play early in the game. Um, had TFL, big plays on the goal line, a couple of them. An effort play when they completed a pass in the flat where he ejected a guy about 8 yards out of bounds. That was awesome. Grayson Holton was great, penetrating. He had a sack. He had a big tackle for loss, but he was kind of the key to a lot of the disruption because he was beating their guards just instantly. Um, David Stone just in. I mean, uh, if he's not right now, he will eventually be the best defensive tackle in college football. It's there all over the place, beating double teams, throwing guys to the ground. I just call him like Hulk plays. I don't know what else to do where he just like rips through a bunch of people and makes a tackle by himself. It's so much fun to watch. He had a couple of real nice rushes. I thought Peyton Bowen had a good game, had a couple of nice tackles out in space. Robert Spears Jennings had a couple of nice tackles. He had a tackle on LaNorris Sellers out in space. That's incredibly difficult. I thought Kobe McKenzie had, like, we don't see our backers piling up a lot of tackles. There's just not a lot of work, but he had a nice tackle for loss on Sellers. He had a nice play on a scramble, had a nice play on a screen. Just, I thought he was running to the football as well as I've seen him. Um, Devon Jordan had a real nice tackle on LaNorris Sellers on a scramble. I thought Marvin Jones Jr.'s played well. He beat a double team and made a tackle on a play. He was where he was supposed to be. He did a good job in contain. Had some real nice, just kind of like a lot of the defensive line. They make nice plays, but it doesn't necessarily end up in a tackle or a TFL or a sack. But they're doing exactly what they're supposed to. I thought Guillory did really good job coming in after Gentry Williams went down. Coverage was solid. He made a really nice tackle on a screen. He made a nice tackle in short yardage. I thought Powers was good. He had the huge hit over on the sideline. That was great. I mentioned PJ. He had a sack or contributed to a sack. And then I thought Marcus Strong came in and did a good job late. He had a really nice play on that tackle for loss that ended up in a safety. So a bunch of guys played really good. Just another check mark. Really good performance by this defense.
I would say coming out of it, the only big negative is Gentry Williams went down.
Yeah.
And
Battled that shoulder. It's hard to know, like, if it's
the way they were holding that arm, and then he was in a sling on the sideline, you assume with his shoulder history, that's just kind of the assumption.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not as bad as it looked.
Yeah.
But the guy's battled shoulder injuries his entire career. He'd been playing some really good football for this team. I absolutely hate that for him, man.
Yeah, I do too. Hopefully he's able to, recover and get back. That's where the depth on this team helps you. Guillory comes in, Eli Bowen's playing well. Devon Jordan's played well. Even Jacoby Johnson, he had a pass interference, but he should have just turned and found the football. The timing was all weird on that play. We were beat deep, but he was trying to recover and had a pass interference. But he had another nice play, nice coverage on a deep ball that was incomplete where I thought he was in a good spot. He's probably going to start working back in and get more time. But all in all, pretty good.
Yeah, Jacoby had the interception at the end of the game too, which,
yep, that's right.
Hey,
good position.
When they punt it to you, catch it.
I totally forgot because it was special teams that Taylor Wine also had an interception in the football game. That dude's playing really, really good.
Anything else? What you saw from OU's defense against South Carolina?
I think that's it.
All right, let's talk about what everyone wants to talk about. Where did this run game come from? But first, download the Loves app from Loves Travel Stops. your guide to savings on the road. Fill up for less with a discount on fuel, 10 cents off on every gallon of gas, and 25 cents off on every gallon of auto diesel. And don't forget, in the store, you can unlock mobile deals on the Love's app to save on snacks, drinks, and select meals at Love's restaurants. Plus, you can plan your pit stops for your next road trip with the map and route planner. All from Love's, the heart of the highway.
It's football time in Oklahoma, and you need beef built like our guys on the field, premium, powerful, and ready to perform. That's Didier Ranch. They're a family ranch right here in Oklahoma, raising and shipping their own beef nationwide. Steak burgers, premium ground beef, and they hand deliver next day to the Oklahoma City metro and surrounding areas. Norman, Moore, Edmond, Yukon, right from their ranch to your doorstep, faster than the Sooner Schooner after a touchdown drive. Premium beef delivered. Visit DidierRanch.com and taste the luxury of tradition.
And we are brought to you by Simple Modern, the Oklahoma-owned company and proud official drinkware partner of the OU Sooners. Football in Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium is rocking all October. Big plays, packed stands, and the exclusive limited edition Simple Modern drinkware drops at each home game. Get yours before everyone else grabs them. Both October home games bring a brand new design only available at that matchup and only while supplies last. I'm telling you, it's the perfect way to stay hydrated while cheering on the Sooners. And with 10% of all profits going to charity, many right here in Oklahoma, every sip supports Oklahomans on and off the field. Simple Modern, good everywhere. All right, breaking down what we saw from the Sooners offense against South Carolina's defense. I like what I saw in the run game. And first and foremost, the biggest difference was the way that the offensive line came off the football. Velocity, violent, sense of urgency. The technique, for the most part, the same. But the way that they came off the rock, the physicality they played with, looked completely different than what we saw a week ago. It's by far the best it's been all season long. Like I watched the first play and I go, okay, I know why the run game went. Fabechi Wiwu is coming off the rock. And so I just had a little grin on my face the entire time I'm watching this film, Ted. And more times than not, like that's what it looked like. Strain, physicality, intensity, effort, whatever, all the words you want to use. It was all better across the board. Was it perfect? No. Is it ever going to be perfect? No. Not in this conference, not against good defenses. It's just not. But it was fast and physical up front. And I am really, really proud of the way that group got up off the mat, dusted himself off, and the way that they went and played in this game. That's what it looks like. And it needs to be like that all the time, Ted.
I totally agree. I'll also say this. It's the first time in that I can remember where we played a whole game mostly with the same guys and everyone made it out of the game healthy.
It's connected like it's connected. They moved people.
Yeah.
You know, when you're stagnant, you're stalemating, like you set yourself up to get rolled up in this game.
Yeah.
And that's been an issue, but I thought Ben Arbuckle put together a really smart run plan. And it's not just because he did a bunch of stuff I've been saying we should be doing for weeks. But that's what they did. That's just the truth. They did a nice job of spreading South Carolina out, creating light boxes, and running into light boxes. They when the tight end was in the court, whether they were motioning him into the court or he was lined up in a wing or even almost in like a fullback position, they set him up for success. It was, hey, go block the end man on the line of scrimmage on split zone. Whether he was set or he was motioning in and he was on the run. They ran split zone, but they lined him up to the side. I'm just going to call it same side split zone. So normally on split zone, you've got the tight end coming back across the formation. This one, he just lined up right across from the defensive end. He had to go block, and he went and cut him.
I like it. I thought, just watching it live, I like it. It's less ground to cover. I like the angle. You can come downhill on them a little bit more. I like that changeup.
And they did a nice job of mixing up. Like, they cut him sometimes and they stayed up high sometimes. And you could see those edge guys from South Carolina being like, oh, I don't want to get cut.
Yep.
Cutting people is a very effective tool in this game.
It is.
If you do it legally, it can really get in defenders' heads. And they used it as a weapon. They used cut blocking for their tight ends as a weapon in this game. And one thing that I loved about the run game, very, very few snaps of a tight end in line at the point of attack with an important block.
Yeah.
That's smart coaching. That's good recognition of your personnel. That's smart coaching. Do I wish they would have done that against Texas? Yes, I think if we take this offensive plan into the Texas game, we probably win that game. But that's a different conversation for a different day. But the run game was just much more efficient. We had some explosive runs. Still no home run runs, which is the next step. But the efficiency in the run game in setting those guys up for success with what you did formationally and what you did from a concept standpoint, this offense was just in much better third down situations the entire game.
Yep.
And that's how you end up 8 of 16 on third down. Because you were in a lot of 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5. And that makes all the difference in the world for an offense. So was it some huge offensive explosion? No. But was it better and more efficient? For sure. For sure. It is a step in the right direction. It is a performance that should build confidence for this offense, especially along that offensive line. And it can get better, man. It can get a lot better.
Yep.
And no turnovers. Now, Mateer put a couple in danger.
Mm-hmm.
One, I talked about it on the In the Weeds preview. It's that flat defender for South Carolina who he's not threatening the fat, so he just hauls back there. He almost picks one off. He never saw him. That is what it is. But other than that, he put one throw that was, a defensive back from South Carolina just jumps the route. But other than that, I thought Mateer made good decisions in the passing game. But 0 turnovers. Big. We won the turnover margin, Ted.
I know it.
And look at the final score. It's not a coincidence. We ran the ball efficiently and won the turnover margin. How about that?
Good stuff. I like it. Yeah, you don't have to have, when your defense is playing the way they are, you don't have to go out and put out, 550 yards of offense every single week in order to win games. Be smart, run it. Be smart in the pass game. Don't turn it over. And, you're probably going to set yourself up for winning games. I mean, the only thing that I'll say, and this is the defense had a big hand in this as well. We had 100 yards in penalties, and it's too much. At one point, we had given almost as many penalty yards to South Carolina as they had on offense total. It was like 113 to 98 at one point for total yards to penalty yardage.
That's got to get cleaned up. Also, in the special teams phase of the game, we got to stop getting blocks in the back. It's ridiculous at this point. That's got to stop. But, okay, back to the offense. One thing before I get into the position-by-position breakdown. Yes, their best player on defense got hurt on the 5th play of the game. Did that change everything about the complexion of this game? I'm not sure. Did it change a lot? Of course it did. The guy is he's one of the best players in college football. I think he played 6 plays. He came back, tried to play 1 play, and just collapses to the ground before Derek Simmons even touches him.
Any idea what he was mad at after that? Was he mad about the original block?
The original block is clean as can be.
Yeah.
Kanek comes in on the split zone on the run and hits him. I mean, he has inside position. He gets his pad level down low. He just gets him right on the hip. I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, and it's partially because he tries to jump around those things, so he gets caught up in the air as opposed to really hammering it with his shoulder. I'm not trying to blame, but like, it's not what I'm trying to do here. But it's football, man. Sometimes it happens. I don't know what else to say other than that. It's a clean block by Kanek, and yes, it was clearly a huge play in the game. Him not being on the field for them was a very big deal.
Physicality matters. That's why you want to take the fight to people.
Correct. So we've gotten that out of the way. Yes, their best player only played, really 5 plays in the game. It is what it is. Football happens sometimes. On to John Mateer. Stat line certainly isn't going to wow you, but I thought he managed the game well. 18 to 26 for 150 and a touchdown. 0 interceptions, although we talked about a couple of those. Could have been picked off. He still does not look like himself in the running game. Yeah. He's not the battering ram he was earlier in the season. And it's understandable, but he's got to get back to being that guy if we're going to run this QB run game stuff. If we're going to run these QB gap schemes where he's reading situations, like he's got to get back to being a little more assertive in those situations. I like him protecting himself. Like when he gets what he can get and what he can get and he gets down, I like that. But he's going to have to pick up some tough yards in big situations for us the rest of the season. And he doesn't look completely comfortable. He doesn't look like he's back to where he was pre-injury as a runner, Ted.
Yeah, I totally agree. And, you have to feel like the thumb injury is still like, I don't know how much it's affecting him physically, but it's affecting the way he plays mentally. Like you could tell, I think that's probably a big part of it is he's maybe still a little tentative and worried about re-injury. I mean, that'd be my only guess.
Yeah. And it's completely understandable.
Yep.
I think we all get it. But as far as what he did in the passing game, he started to look more like himself on a couple of these throws. And I know everyone wants us to push it down the field. I want that too. But there were some throws in this game where like the ball placement makes me think that hand's starting to feel better. Like a couple of to Burks or Satania in the quick passing game where he puts it on the shoulder it needs to be on to where they can spin out and get some yards after the catch. Mm-hmm. Multiple of those where I go, yes, he's slowly but surely getting back. Because if he's putting the ball right where he wants it to be in the quick passing game, that's making me believe that hand's getting back.
Yep.
So, and there were some really nice designs from Arbuckle in the short passing game. I love the things where we're getting Satania basically just one-on-ones in space.
Yep.
And he's making guys look silly with some of his route running. It looks really, really good. But I like the throw to Satania on the touchdown. Arbuckle schemes him open. Satania kind of acts like he's going to block on the RPO, quick screen. He takes it vertical down the sideline. But just in case Burks, the corner that's carrying Burks' vertical, falls off, like Mateer throws it kind of outside to Satania into a spot where if that corner falls off, he's not going to fall off and pick the ball off. Like those are the small details that I was really encouraged about. Mateer was also really accurate in the RPO game, right? Where the box count was not in our favor and he threw a quick screen or a bubble out to the outside. Like those things were right on the money. Guys caught it clean, made something happen. So the accuracy that was very much absent against Texas was back on the short, like in the quick game. And that was really encouraging. Now, the next step is, can we get him completely healed up to where he's feeling really comfortable ripping it down the field.
Yeah.
Because if we can run it efficiently, man, if we can run it similarly to the way that we ran it in this game, there are going to be one-on-one opportunities on the outside. Whether it's just play action pass, drop back, RPO game. I thought there were multiple opportunities in this game where Giovanni Gibson has one-on-one coverage. They're starting to commit more to the box. The safety's way towards the middle of the field. And all it takes from Mateer is a little hand signal out to Gibson, say, hey, go win, run by him. And you can take some of those shots moving forward. So I'm hoping the efficiency in the run game that we saw in this one can end up resulting in more explosive plays down the field in the passing game.
Yep. No, that's how you want to build it. And you got to have some consistency, and, teams are going to come out given it takes more than one game, right? You're going to have to start to prove it to people in some consecutive weeks before you start getting those opportunities early. Otherwise, you're going to have to prove it throughout a game. And as the game develops, then you'll start to get a few more opportunities like that. But, all in all, I don't have a whole lot of complaints about Mateer. I thought he was going to be a lot better than he was at Texas. He was, and I hope that he keeps building to get back to where he was, and then hopefully the offensive line can stay together, stay healthy, and we can build that run game and continue to give him more help.
On to the wide receivers. Giovanni Gibson, 5 for 24. Just good to see him getting in on the action. Used his size and power in some of those competitive catch situations on the outside. And I thought his best opportunity to make a big play in the game, Mateer airmailed it over his head out of bounds on the sideline.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see him have the opportunity to go up and make a play on the ball in that situation. I'm hopeful that that's going to come, that's going to be a product of running it more efficiently. Some of these throws down to Gibson down the sideline.
And that's how he's going to win. He's going to look covered, and they're going to be hand battling, and he's going to use his size to be able to win late. You got to trust it.
And some of the timing throws to Gibson, it's clear that chemistry that they had throughout the offseason is still there.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that continues to build, and that we see Mateer, especially when the box count is not in our favor in some of these run looks, gives him some chances to go up and make plays. I'm hoping we see that moving forward. Now, Deion Burks, 2 for 19, another quiet day for Deion. It felt like he made more plays than that for some reason. I don't know if that makes sense at all, but we still just haven't seen him just run by somebody on a deep route and have them connect on that, where we clear out a zone for him and he's just hauling down the field. That needs to come. That is a part of this offense that needs to be a part of this passing game moving forward. And as Mateer gets healthier and more confident in his hand and in that arm, I'm hoping that comes with it. Isaiah Satania may be the best player on this offense, man. It's
consistent.
7 for 73, had the touchdown. He had some really nice yak on whether it was quick screens or just quick outs, that return route. He's really running at a high level. He just goes and makes things happen with the ball in his hands. He did have the one drop that it clearly, he felt pain in his soul after he dropped it. But, and that's a big third down. In the games we're about to play, that cannot happen.
Yeah.
You have to catch that 100 times out of 100 and move the chains. But other than that, he continues to really, really impress, Ted.
And he's got a smoothness about him once he's got the ball that he just kind of glides around and makes guys miss. And another thing that you don't always see from wide receivers, especially guys that aren't big physical players, is it feels like he's always falling forward for 2 or 3 extra yards. And a lot of those happen to be right around the chains.
Yeah, that's a great point. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but he kind of plays big in a strange way. On to the running backs, Tory Blaylock continues to be the bell cow for this offense. 19 for 101 and a touchdown. And the dude runs hard. I mean, he runs hard, but I really like what I saw from him. Now, he got the tough yards when he needed to get there. But one of the things, we got to see him work in a little more space and see the type of athlete he is, and he looked good. Sure. Would I like to see him shimmy shake someone and make them fall down? There's no doubt about it. And I think that's going to come. Like, the more you get opportunities in space, the better you get at running in space and making guys miss. Like, if he gets more and more opportunities, I think he's going to get better and better at it. I think that will come. But one of the best things we saw in this game was, hey, sometimes I don't know how he feels it. I don't know how he sees it. But South Carolina's like the edge of their defense, whether it's a corner, a defensive end, an outside backer that's they're gap exchanging. If those guys started peeking inside and get tucked inside, he ran to grass outside.
Yep.
And that's something we've been asking for him. Like, hey, man, not every time you don't just have to pipe it up in there for two. Like, let's bounce some of these things and try to go make something happen. And he absolutely did that a couple times in this game, and that was really encouraging.
Yeah. I think he continues to get better and better the more carries. I think he's starting to get a little bit more patience there. And that also comes whenever you've got more room to operate, right? When it's constantly a big jumbled mess, there's not a whole lot to feel and to adjust to. You just kind of bury your head and go get what's there. So, yeah, I really like. He continues to be a really bright spot on this offense as a true freshman.
Xavier Robinson has assumed the RB2 role. 11 for 58, had the touchdown on a play where John Mateer is absolutely pulling the ball, and Xavier Robinson says, "No, you're not," and just takes it and goes and scores a touchdown, which, hey, the ball is in the air a little bit, which is scary. We can't have those mesh point issues, but in this case, it works out. He goes and scores a touchdown. Sometimes it works that way. But I thought X did a better job just running through some of the trash.
Yeah.
Running through a few arm tackles. He's got this slippery movement pattern to him, which he's so big. It's just strange to watch on film. But I thought he did a nice job when he got his opportunities. And maybe most importantly, he proved that they can trust him in pass protection. He was in the right spots. He was physical when they brought pressure. When his guy that he's assigned to in protection came, I thought he did a really nice job. I thought it is his, and there weren't a ton of them, but I thought from an assignment and execution standpoint in pass protection, it's as good as I've seen him be.
Yeah. And, I felt this about him. I don't think he's a good spot duty guy. He is like a rhythm guy. He needs some carry. Like, the more carries he gets, the more plays he gets in the game, I feel like he gets stronger as he goes.
I think that can be said about these two guys. They both felt like they got into a rhythm. They got in more space just from what we were doing formationally and conceptually. And I thought they ran it well.
Yeah.
Now, we've got to start ripping off some of the 40-50s, but a couple 20s in this one, baby.
They'll come. I mean, if you continue to have that good momentum, they're going to come.
On to tight end. Let's start with Caden Helms. I thought he played as hard as anyone on the field.
I agree.
And, I mean, the guy he is going to give you everything he's got. And I thought he played the best game of all the tight ends. He did a good job on the split zone stuff, whether he was going and cutting the guy or going and standing up with them. Had a really nice block on Blaylock's touchdown run, where just really physical against a big, long-arm DN. Now, he lost some battles in the run game, but I'm never questioning the effort or the intensity. And he's not the threat that Kanak is as a route runner, but overall, with what we've seen now through 7 games, he feels like our best all-around tight end.
Yep. And he's also a guy that just hasn't had a lot of consistency. Anytime he gets any momentum getting better, he's had setbacks injury wise. So he's one of those guys, and I know we're on the back half of the season, but I feel like the more opportunities he gets, the better he's going to get incrementally as he goes.
I'm with you. Jaron Canick, one catch for 16 yards. It came early. The ball just didn't really find him the rest of the way. And it's because, honestly, he just wasn't on the field a ton because Helms got a lot of snaps.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought Canick in the run game was at his best in the split zone stuff. And the block that he had on Stewart changed the game. It just did. It's clean. Reminder, clean. Couldn't have been cleaner. But one thing about Jaron Canick, and I feel like I can see how uncomfortable he is in these situations now because he's had some things go wrong early in the season, and it's almost like in his head.
Yep.
When he's out in space, whether it's an RPO quick screen out to the outside, they're throwing a swing screen, they're just throwing something quick and easy to the outside. He's missing entirely too many blocks out in space in those situations. He's way too athletic to be whiffing as much as he is. And I think it's more of a confidence thing.
Yep.
Whatever they got to do to get him more confident and to execute better in those situations, he's got to be able to cover guys up. These are inside backers and safeties, and I'm not saying it's easy. It's not, but he's got to get the job done because right now he's just not. Yeah. And it's hurting the team in those situations, and it ultimately hurts the passing game as a whole because if he's not executing in those situations, they take him off the field, and we need him on the field to be a more explosive team in the passing game.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's not easy, but you're almost, when you're out in space like that, you're almost playing like basketball defense more than you are anything.
Yeah, he's
else.
like running up and trying to like hammer him. Dude, this is a phrase I've always used. Remember, these are inside backers. These are safeties. These are guys that are equal or lighter than him. Capture. Do not kill. Capture. Not kill. You don't have to go kill the guy. You just got to capture him.
Yep.
And he's trying to go kill guys. Just capture him. Get in the way. Screen him off. Not everything has to be some devastating blow as a blocker. And we need him to be better in those situations because if we're going to continue to spread teams out and run it, which I'll lose my mind if we don't do that, those RPO throws to the outside are going to continue to be a big part of this offense.
Yep.
And he's got to be good in those situations. He's got to be. And he can do it. I know he can do it. Capture.
Yep.
Don't kill. Offensive line, you ready?
Let's go.
All right. Now, this is going to sound weird because I'm going to talk about how Fasusi didn't play very well, even though I think the group played their best game by far as a whole. It's just Michael Fasusi's incredibly talented. Let me make this very clear. I ain't worried about him. He's going to be just fine. This is a performance he's going to learn a lot from, though. He played against a good veteran player in Brian Thomas Jr., and he had a bit of a rough go against a really good veteran player.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's not all bad. It's not all bad. I don't want to make it sound like it's all bad, but he did some nice things in the running game when he was balanced and used his hands and was violent in pass protection. Man, there's some good-looking reps. But he had 2 holds. He got an alignment penalty. He gave up a couple quick inside moves, which ball is gone. If it wasn't gone right away, Mateer's getting killed. And he gave up a sack and multiple QB hits. A guy as talented as him, that should not happen. There should not be that many negative plays. And really, he struggled for the most part with one thing throughout the game in pass protection. Brian Thomas Jr. kept hitting him with a rip move, and he was dipping underneath Fasusi, and Fasusi just really struggled to stop it. He was not able to get his hands on what I call like the near point. He's dipping that left shoulder, and Fasusi's hand ended up on his back. He's got to near point that shoulder with that inside hand, especially, and widen the pocket and ride him up the field. It's a technique thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually not, with his feet, he's not in a horrible position. It's a technique thing and just knowing what to do with your hands when a guy's got a really good rip move and can bend the way that that guy can bend. So that is a detail I'm sure they will drill a lot this week because he's going to get a lot of rip moves now because he's shown he struggles with it. So once again, not worried about the guy, but he got beat too many times in this game for as talented as he is. And he was, as a result, and like he knew it, like he was visibly frustrated on the sideline.
Yeah.
Like I could tell. But it's one of those games for a true freshman against a veteran player where it's like, hey, man, you ain't got it all figured out quite yet. There's still some things to learn. And with everything I've ever been told about Michael Fasusi, I'm not worried about it. He's going to put the work in. He's going to get this detail thing figured out. I'm confident in that. He's better than the way that he played. Don't let it happen again. How about that? Don't let it happen again. Never feel this feeling again if you're Michael Fasusi.
Yeah. And again, like just to go back to the point of everyone making it through, like he's had the ankle deal he's been dealing with. It didn't look
and he got rolled up in this game, and I thought he was hurt again. I was like, no, but seems like he was fine.
Point is he's a true freshman, and he's missed a lot of practice time throughout the season. And as long as he can stay healthy, yeah, I'm with you. Not worried about him continuing to come around and get better.
Heath Ozada, thought Heath did some really nice things. Thought he was really solid in pass protection. One of his better pass protection games, in my opinion, in the run game. We saw more glimpses of what it can be if he cuts it loose.
Yeah.
When the dude cuts it loose and he comes off the rock, he is a big dude that can move people. It's just got to happen more often. Less hesitation, more often. And there are a couple snaps in this game where you just watch it and you go, yes, yes. But there needs to be more of those. It needs to be more consistent. And I thought he was better with his eyes overall in this game. And I think the last thing, like he's a big, big dude. He's got to continue to think, get my pads down, especially in the run game. When he plays with load pads, people get moved. When he doesn't, people don't. So what's that tell us, Ted? Got to get those pads down more consistently. Yep. But some good things from Heath, not perfect, but some good things. Better, not where it needs to be. And I'm confident, hey, this is kind of a confidence builder for him. Let's go. Let's continue to get better.
Good.
Jake Michaela. It's on repeat at this point. Really good in pass protection again. Now, they run 6 up and he gets picked again. I'm going to kill the kid if he does it again. That's the first thing I'm going to say to him next time I see him. If you get picked again in 6 up, we're going to fight. Don't expect it to happen again. Protect yourself with the drag hand, young man. Come on, what are we doing? But I thought some of his best run game combos of the season are on this tape. Coming off the ball, velocity, moving guys. He still needs to strike better on the second level, but it's getting better. Let me make that clear. Like there are a couple of, I always call it like a dip. He's a tall guy. So when you get to that second level of linebackers, you can't just get up there and be tall. You got to dip and strike. Mm-hmm. And there are a couple instances where when he dips and strikes, it looks pretty good at the second level. They pulled him quite a few times in this game. And it's interesting because I love it, but they're not exactly playing to his strengths with the way that they did it. He's the kick out puller on counter when they pulled him in this game. That's not something I would say Michaela would really, really succeed at. And he was okay in it. If they're going to do that, he's got to cut it completely loose and not be afraid to miss.
Yeah.
Because he can't go like pull and measured and like chop the feet and try to strike with the hands. He's got to open, run, and strike with that right shoulder or left shoulder, like that outside shoulder on the inside shoulder of the defensive end, and throw everything he's got into it.
Yeah.
That's the only way he's going to create any space, just with how he's built, if that makes sense.
No, I'm with you. Yep.
If they want to pull him, maybe some pin pull, let the guy get out in space, block some alley defenders. Maybe that would set him up a little better. I'm just saying. But I did like them letting him do a little more. I like them pulling him and giving the defense a different look. But he's great in pass pro. The run game stuff was better. The identification stuff as an offensive line, I thought that for the most part was very, very clean. And that starts with Michaela. So good stuff. Fabechi Wiwu looked healthy. Looked back close to 100%. And frankly, looked like he was a guy that was tired of everyone talking noise on this offensive line.
Good.
Which I may or may not have had a few conversations on the sideline where people, let's just say the group has heard some of the criticism. Fair to say. I'll leave it at that. But I thought Wiwu, the velocity off the ball, especially early, is as good as it's been in his career here. Really set the tone. Like the first play of the game. Whoom. Okay, here we go. That's what it looks like. And just the velocity, the physicality. Pass pro was really solid for him as well. But this is the next step, not only for Wiwu, but for the group as a whole. It's easy to play this way once. Now, you got to do it every time.
Mm-hmm.
You got to take care of your body. You got to get in whatever you got to do Monday through Friday to be able to go play with that intensity, that effort, that physicality. You got to figure it out because it's not easy to play this hard all the time. It's not. You got to train yourself to play this hard all the time. And that starts on the practice field. And that was one of the things I noticed about Wiwu. That third quarter started looking a little tired, which it's understandable because you got to train yourself to play like this.
Yep.
And so that's something this group as a whole, that's what it looks like. That effort, that intensity. Now you got to get yourself in shape to play like that the rest of the way. As you're getting worn down at the end of the season, it ain't easy, man. It's not fun. But now that they've seen what it looks like when they play this way, what the results can be, you got no choice, man. You got to figure it out. How can I play like this the rest of the way?
Yep.
Starts on the practice field.
Got to adapt. And, going out there and doing it for an entire game, it'll help. I mean, you'll the more you go, the better you're going to feel. So, and the fact that he looked close to 100% is going to be a big factor too. Like it's hard to really get the conditioning you need when you're battling an injury and you can't move at the velocity you want to. So I like that.
Last but not least, Derek Simmons. Kent State game was an anomaly. This guy's good.
Mm-hmm. Really
solid performance, especially when you consider like he wasn't able to finish the Texas game because of that ankle.
Right.
You really would have never known he was hurt. Good velocity, good physicality in the run game. Another solid performance in pass protection. Got beat, he gave up an inside move one time and empty, but other than that, like I thought he was really, really solid in pass protection. Would I have liked to see him battle Dylan Stewart a little more? Of course I would, just to see how it went. But once again, that guy only played 5 plays in the game. We are a different offensive line when he's on the field because of the drop off at that position when he's not. But we are a different offensive line, especially with Hallen banged up. So I was really, really impressed with how he played in this game.
Good.
Like you would have never known the guy was hurt, in my opinion. I was watching it. I went into watching this film like with, okay, he's hurt, like give him a little bit of a break. Like that was my thought process going into it. And by the end of it, I was like, that guy looks fine. What am I even talking about?
Yeah, that's good. All in all, pretty solid. And like to me, the biggest thing is this group needs to get more reps playing together. It's been tough. Like a lot of the past years. I mean, this was game 7, and it's one of the only this game and the Michigan game are really the only 2 times we've seen this group together for at least the majority of a football game. I know Fasusi got rolled up in the Michigan game, but I mean, it's if we can stack some of these games together, I feel like that group can continue to get better and better.
I'm with you. All right, let's get to call your shot. We asked you guys the number one thing that stood out in OU's win over South Carolina. This first one comes from Josh Crawford. He says, Mateer's hand isn't fine and need to clean up the penalties in a big way. OU's the only reason SC was in the game so long. Why are our fans so negative, dude? Like that's your number one takeaway from us going and winning on the road 26-7 is Mateer's not fine and penalties?
Yeah.
Come on, man. I mean, listen, it wasn't perfect, but come on.
Yep.
Up and down this conference, you're seeing teams go and struggle to win on the road. And yeah, there were too many penalties. There's no doubt about it. But it's not. Did I miss? I saw a bunch of people talking about how Mateer's not healthy. Did they say something about it on the TV broadcast or something?
I don't know.
Because some people are making it sound like he was awful in the game. I don't get it.
Yeah. The only thing that I can maybe guess at is the fact that we're not pushing it down the field a whole lot. And maybe there's a thought there that the limiting factor is maybe Mateer's hand, and maybe he didn't have all the zip he needed to at all times. But, like you said, I consider it a really good building block and there ain't a whole lot of, what was the final, 26-7 victories in this conference. Look around. Took overtime for Texas to get through Kentucky. Took overtime for Missouri and Auburn. I mean, every game in this conference is very difficult to win by multiple scores. We were a 5.5 point favorite. I mean, I think you got to be happy. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's a good way to answer from the loss to Texas and have some good momentum going forward. Because the good thing is you can still improve on your areas where you struggled. Penalties. I mean, penalties did keep South Carolina in the game, but that was only for a very brief window. I mean, technically speaking, on the scoreboard, they were in the game. However, they were not really going anywhere on offense at all. Matter of fact, a lot of the times they were going backwards. So let yourself enjoy it a little bit.
Yeah, just enjoy a really solid road win in conference play. It's hard to do. It's hard to go smack another team around on their field like OU did to South Carolina.
Yep.
It's not easy. Enjoy it. Listen, I know that I have been very critical of the offense up to this point, but if I can enjoy this and the progress that we saw, anybody should be able to enjoy it. Ted, what are we doing here?
Yeah. And the final thing, like on Mateer, maybe his hand's not good, but it's better than it was a week ago. Certainly. So I'm assuming it's going to be better a week from now than it was against South Carolina. Give the guy a little bit of time to work back from a surgery on his throwing hand. I mean, I don't know. I'm pleased with how he played. It was a big step up from how he played against Texas, and I'm hopeful and confident that he's going to continue to do that.
6-1. You're in a good spot. 6-1.
Yep.
Got some big ones ahead of us, but 6-1. You're in a good spot. All right, let's recap the big games of week 8 of college football. But first,
Schwab Meat has been smoking the highest quality meats, hot dogs, and sausages in OKC since 1912. Go to schwabmeat.com to order any of Schwab's outstanding products and use promo code OKBreakdown for free shipping on orders over $75. Schwab dogs are iconic. I like to keep it simple. Just a bun, dog, mustard, ketchup. Also, the jalapeno cheddar smoked sausage is ridiculous. Schwabmeat.com, code OKBreakdown for free shipping on orders over $75. Schwab Meat, the official hot dog of game days.
And head to the garage for hand smash patties, butter toasted buns, and ice cold beer. My go-to is the double bison cheeseburger. It's so good. The garage is the perfect spot to watch any big game, and you can enjoy Rad Hour every day. Enjoy discounted domestic beers, house wines, draft cocktails, and frozen cocktails Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Visit eatatthegarage.com to find a location near you or order online from the garage in your neighborhood.
Insurica's launched a new digital agency introducing Insurica Direct. Whether you're in Oklahoma or anywhere across the U.S., they've got you covered. From small business insurance and health insurance for your employees to insurance for individuals like home, auto, and even Medicare supplements. Insurica Direct's got it all. Start your journey today at insuricadirect.com. Remember, at Insurica, we specialize in you.
All right, time to recap the biggest games of week 8 in college football. And let's start in Nashville. Or do they call it Nashville?
I call it Nashville, but I don't know what they call it.
I feel like that's how they say it in the South. When I lived there, I called it Nashville. Maybe I sounded like an idiot.
There's a lot of bulls. Nashville, Gainesville, Starkville, they're around. So that's how I've heard it.
Let's talk about what went down in Nashville. Vandy wins it 31-24, and let's just start here, Ted. What Clark Lee has done for Vanderbilt football is just fantastic. And clearly, Diego Pavia has had a massive, massive hand in that. But they beat LSU. There's nothing fluky about it. They were the better team. They were more physical. They had the better running game. They had the better quarterback. It's their first win over LSU since 1990. Should be this huge, big deal, right? Don't even rush the field.
Beat the number 10 team in the country.
Don't even rush the field. Didn't even think about rushing the field because Clark Lee and Diego Pavia have changed the expectations of Vanderbilt football. It is really, really impressive. Dude, this is literally the first time they beat them since I've been alive.
It's crazy. Impressive, man. They've got a veteran football team, and you know, I think a lot of people from the outside just think it's Pavia going in and doing it all alone. They got a good defense. They run the ball really effectively. It's a good, solidly coached football team. Smart, physical. They're good.
And I like the way that Clark Lee was aggressive in this game. And it didn't work out for him every time, but like it's 4th and 1 at the minus 46, and they're going for it. And the play looks dead. But Pavia makes something happen. Finds the running back. First down, move the chains. Go and score. Like Diego Pavia is just so much fun to watch. The dude just makes plays. And I thought he made really good decisions in the passing game. In this one, had some incredible scrambles and plays with his legs. He's must-see TV for me. Like, I want to watch Vanderbilt every time they're on TV, like especially in a big game, because Pavia is as entertaining of a player is in college football.
Yep. And he's incredibly confident, and that team mirrors their leader, right? He fuels the way the rest of that team plays, and he doesn't shy away from it. He makes bold comments, and he goes out and backs it up. You got to love it.
The one where he runs for the touchdown and gave all those Army guys a hug. I mean, throws them the ball, then gets in there and is hugging all of them. I mean, how cool was that?
Yep.
And that's the thing. They got to keep winning. But you start talking Heisman Trophy, for Diego Pavia because it is very hard to make an argument that any player is more important to his team.
Yeah.
Like he is the straw that stirs the drink there for Vandy, and he had a couple moments in this game. He's got to continue to have some moments. They got to continue to rack up some big wins, Ted. But if anyone out there has a Diego Pavia to win the Heisman Trophy ticket, they're probably feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah. They play Missouri this week at home. They're a 2.5-point favorite. That's going to be a really tough game, but I think they can win. They play at Texas. I think they can win that. They got Auburn at home. They got Kentucky at home. I think they can win both those games, and then they end the year at Tennessee. I mean, Vanderbilt is firmly in the fight right now in the SEC. Firmly.
They played an LSU defense that a lot of people are saying is a top-tier defense in the sport, right?
Yep.
Well, how about 239 and 3 rushing touchdowns?
Ooh.
Their running game, man, it's got a lot of moving parts, and Pavia adds to it when he drops back to pass. Like, he has such a good feel in the scramble game. Like, when the middle of the defense opens up, he just takes off and rips off some big chunks, man. I was really, really impressed. And of course, they ended the game just running it right at him. That was really
Vanderbilt just salting it away, running over the top of Louisiana State University.
Just how we all imagine.
Yeah.
And maybe the difference in the game was Vandy's defense's ability to force field goals. They bowed up in the red zone, man. And I was just, I mean, there was nothing fluky about it. And I know that they were favored, and I know both of us picked them to win the game and cover. But it's still a little weird watching Vandy bully LSU, you know?
I mean, we laughed, or I laughed anyways. Clark Lee's been saying it since he took that job. We're going to make Vanderbilt the best program in college football. And it's like, okay, whatever. It's like, you've got my attention, sir. You got my attention.
It had to be Pavia. He could have just run it in there at the end. And instead, the ultimate, I don't know if it's respect or disrespect. He goes down short so they can knee it out. Oh,
yep.
That was it. Smart play. The only way you can lose the game if you give LSU the ball back there. So he's electric, man. I love watching the guy, and this Vandy team is for real.
Yep.
Is it crazy to think that they could play for an SEC championship at this point?
No, I just went through it. Don't you think there'll be a favorite in? I doubt there'll be a favorite on the road against Texas, but I'll tell you right now,
they just might, man. With the way that Texas' offense looks,
yeah, they might be the favorite. But even if they're not, it's definitely a football game they can win. They could beat Auburn, they could beat Kentucky, and if they make it to the Tennessee game and they've just got one loss, you just look at all these games. A&M still undefeated in conference. They got all they wanted from Arkansas. Arkansas put up, 500 yards of offense on them, ran it for 250, something like that. Alabama's undefeated, but everyone else has a loss. And there are no guarantees on any week. So, yeah, I think if they could just be one loss team, they got a chance. We'll see who can hold it together. It's going to be a crazy finish in the SEC this year.
No doubt. And this result was one of the key catalysts to me climbing to 121st in our Battle Bets League. Progress, baby. 201st, 121st. We're on the move. And shout out to Ben Parker for having the best week this week in our Battle Bets League. $250 for Ben Parker. Good work, sir.
Easy money.
If you didn't compete this week, no worries. You can still join our league. Go to battlebets.app/OKBreakdown. Join the league. You can compete against us and other listeners. And reminder, this is all free. You're making college football bets with fake money, and BattleBets is giving weekly winners $250 of real money and $500 of real money to the leader of the league at the end of week 11 of college football. BattleBets.app/OKBreakdown. Download the free BattleBets app and come compete in the Oklahoma Breakdown League. On to Ole Miss, Georgia. Man, what a game. Dogs win it 43-35. And I think this is something that Brent Venables has said about Georgia consistently. And he is so right. And it was obvious in this game. When things got real uncomfortable in the fourth quarter, when everything was on the line, Georgia looked very comfortable.
Yep.
And they loved themselves a second half comeback, that's for sure. And it turns out Georgia can win a bit of a shootout too, Ted.
Yeah.
They are not playing what the type of defense we expect from Georgia. But how about Gunnar Stockton and that Georgia offense just lighten it up a little bit?
He's getting better and better. And, you talk about, and I say it all the time, winning is a skill. It's not something that just happens. You don't happen to win the game. In the fourth quarter, everything is more critical. You have to execute. Guys have to make plays. You have to learn. You have to know how to go out and do it as a team. Here's the fourth quarter. Drives for Georgia. Touchdown, field goal, end game. Ole Miss, punt, turnover on downs.
And they had not punted the entire game until the fourth quarter.
2 3-and-outs in the fourth quarter.
They were up 35-26 at the start of the fourth. They had 5 drives in the game. They had scored 5 touchdowns. I don't know how many teams have ever started 5 for 5 in a game and then lost, but I can't imagine it's a lot.
No.
But they had 13 yards of offense in the fourth quarter. When they needed to be at their best, they weren't. And when Georgia needed to be at their best in the fourth quarter, down 9, they were at their best.
Yep.
Georgia's defense had to step up, and they did. So I don't think the Georgia defense is going to be overly pleased with the way that they played, but when they had to be really good in the fourth quarter, they were really good, man. They got stops.
Yep. And Ole Miss that's a good quality offense. They find a way to generate movement, whether it's run game, passing game. They got players out there, and I always feel like they are well organized and have a really good game plan against who they're playing. And that's a big win for Georgia. It probably didn't go the way they wanted it to, but if you outscore Ole Miss 17-0 in the fourth quarter, get the win, you got to be happy about that.
How do you think Lane Kiffin feels? By the way, Florida just fired Billy Napier.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Don't hate that Ole Miss is going to have that hanging over them as they come to Norman on Saturday. Just saying.
Yeah.
Bit of a distraction for the Rebels.
Remember, I talked about this a long time ago. This is where OU Twitter, disinformation, technological espionage against Ole Miss. Get in there and stir the pot. Get the rumors flowing. Start making up different tail numbers on private jets that are going into Oxford. Stir the pot.
That being said, back to the recap. But that is very, very significant when you consider who the Sooners are playing on Saturday. But Trinidad Chambliss was incredible for 3 quarters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he looked like a bigger, thicker Kyler Murray in this game. And then in the fourth quarter, when he needed to be his best, I said Georgia's defense really struggled or really stepped up. Chambliss helped him. He missed some throws, man.
Yeah.
Now, this was his first road start in the FBS.
That's crazy.
It's
wow.
crazy. And it makes the way that he played in the first three quarters even crazier. The guy was unbelievable. But ultimately, with what he didn't get done in the fourth quarter, he got outplayed by Gunnar Stockton, who delivered undoubtedly the best game of his career. 26 of 31, 289, 4 touchdowns, also added 59 on the ground and a touchdown. It's one of the best quarterback performances we've seen this season, man. He was an absolute playmaker in this game.
Yep. And what worries me about Ole Miss is like they came out of the second half, second play of the second half, they hit a long touchdown, was a 75-yard touchdown pass.
Dude,
like,
to Deshaun's dribbling, and
yeah.
he looked like the fastest man alive on that play. Oh my gosh.
Yep. That's what worries me. Like they are a quick strike group. They can push it down the field, and they got skill talent all over.
Stockton had some big throws in this game.
Dude, he's piling up some big throws in big games.
Like fourth quarter, like 4.5 minutes to go, just an absolute strike on that 2nd and 12 to Dylan Bell down the field. That was a huge play. Found Lawson lucky for the 3 touchdowns down in the red zone. The tight end's always open down there, baby.
Always.
But while I assume Kirby's not overly thrilled about how they played defensively, the yards and points they gave up, they got stops in the fourth quarter, and that offense was humming, man. Absolutely humming.
Well, I think a good sign of a really good football team is you can win in multiple ways, right? You can win in a close defensive battle, or you can win in a shootout. So, yeah, you're always going to have things that you come away that are not good enough and you have to improve on and you're going to be upset about. But the execution in the fourth quarter and being able to find offense whenever you've got to have it, quarterback making throws when you got to have it. I mean, they can win games multiple ways. That's why they're still doing what they're doing.
Good win for Georgia. We'll see how Ole Miss bounces back with. I mean, it's going to be a distraction. Everyone's going to be saying their head coach that Florida's going to want their head coach.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how they handle all that. I hope they handle it poorly.
Right.
All right, let's get to one more game. We'll hit USC, Notre Dame, and winners and losers. So let's talk Bama, Tennessee. Bama wins it 37-20. And it felt, I don't know how you felt, but it felt closer than the final score. Like Tennessee is going to I think Tennessee will feel like they didn't give Bama their best shot in this game. And I don't know. It felt like Tennessee missed some opportunities, especially the Ty Simpson fumble. Didn't get any points out of that in the second half. And then they just couldn't get stops. I don't know. It felt closer to the final score to me, but maybe it wasn't, Ted. How'd you feel about it?
Yeah. I mean, it's 16-7. And
oh my gosh.
Tennessee is on the goal line right at the end of the second quarter with a chance to make the game 16-14 going into halftime on the road. You'll take that, setting yourself up, to be able to go and try and win the game in the second half. And the thing that absolutely cannot happen, and it totally changed the football game. Now, they battled back and had some opportunities, but, I mean, that was a gut punch to be able, like, Alabama at home absolutely robbed the momentum going into halftime.
You can't throw a pick on Spider 2Y Banana.
No.
You certainly can't leave that ball inside and throw a pick six. How about Xavier Brown on that play? He kind of freezes Deshaun Bishop. Because if he gets tackled there, it's just, okay, horrible play. We didn't get points, but no harm, no foul. Instead, he hits him with a little stutter and goes and scores. And that place looked like it was going insane.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
But that was clearly, that ball should be a touchdown. If he puts it outside where it's supposed to be, that ball's a touchdown.
Yep.
And instead, It's a game altering play. And that wasn't the
14-point
only
swing.
that wasn't the only mistake I thought Aguilar had in that first half. He's way they get a safety. The dude is being way too casual, standing in his own end zone, dropping back.
Right.
He's just like, oh, and then he just kind of falls into the end zone for a safety. It's like, dude, what are you doing? Maybe let's have a little urgency when we're in our own, passing it out of our own end zone, bud.
Yep.
Let's maybe get the ball out of our hands and not hold it for 4 seconds. But I just thought overall, Tennessee wasn't able to get enough going offensively, and Bama's offense continues to be very, very good. Although I thought Ty Simpson was good, not great in this game. He got away with some mistakes where, frankly, he threw it to Tennessee and they didn't catch it. You got to have a little luck, like sometimes with those. So I thought that although he didn't play his best, they still win by 3 scores.
Yeah.
pretty impressive.
Well, I thought the critical exchange, well, we talked about the one going into half, but in the second half, Auburn or Alabama stole the momentum, and then they come out. Defense does a good job, forces a 3 and out. And then Tennessee goes right down the field, scores a touchdown to make it 23-13. Then Alabama fumbles the ball near midfield, and you don't get anything out of it. You have to punt. You pin them on the 1, and they go 99 yards for a touchdown. Like, to me, that was – and it wasn't over at that point. Tennessee fought back and scored a touchdown on the next drive. But, like, that was a killer that you weren't able to get any points out of that turnover. And instead of getting points, Alabama answers it with a 99-yard drive.
Felt like a bit of a soul crusher for sure.
Yep.
Now, there is part of me that wonders, like, what happens in this game if Tennessee just hands it to Deshaun Bishop 30 times? Yeah. That dude was running wild. But because they didn't seem that much of an answer for him. But Bama, this 4-game stretch that they just went on, it's really impressive, man. That is 4 ranked SEC wins in a row for Alabama. And now them losing to Florida State is one of the most confusing games of the college football season, but it's exactly what they needed because now they're this. So if you want to tell me that Ohio State's better than them, that Ohio State's the best team in the country, I'm probably not really going to argue, but no one's got a better resume than Alabama right now.
I agree. At South Carolina next, you feel like they going to win that one. LSU at home, feel like they're going to win that one. Oklahoma at home. I mean, we'll see where we are by the time we play them. But they're in position A right now for making it to the SEC championship.
I think there's pretty much nothing more college football than Bama fans lighting cigars during the fourth quarter and that like smoky haze taking over that stadium. Like that's about as college football as it gets, dude.
Pretty cool. Yeah, that was awesome.
I'm a little jealous of that one. I'm not going to lie. Also, one last note on this game. I appreciate Sean McDonough literally giggling on the call when Tennessee, did they get tackled at the 1-yard line at the end of the game? Maybe. I don't know. It kind of looked like a touchdown, but final score 37-20. Under hits 60.5. Got tackled at like the 1-inch line on the last play of the game. And McDonough literally starts laughing. It's great. It's fantastic. All right, let's finish up with our winners and losers of the weekend. But first, for all of us Sooners, there comes a time when we need help. We need someone to fight for us, and that Sooner is Jeff Marr at the Marr Law Firm. If you are battling cancer or any other life-threatening condition and your insurance carrier is either slow playing or outright denying your treatment, use the law to get the medical care you need. Marr Law Firm believes you shouldn't have to fight your insurance company while also fighting for your life. Go to see Jeff Marr at the Marr Law Firm. They turn victims of insurance bad faith into champions. And three things matter in banking: service, service, and service. And First Fidelity Bank's commitment to exceptional service is more than a promise, it's their foundation. FFB has been by your side for over a century, and they are honored to be a part of your journey. Banking isn't about where you've been, it's about where you are headed. Open an account at an award-winning bank today at ffb.com. At First Fidelity Bank, we go where you go.
Bishop McGuinness Catholic High School represents a tradition of educational excellence in Oklahoma City. Grounded in a faith-based education, Bishop McGuinness offers a college prep curriculum that includes 26 AP courses, participation in OSSAA athletics, and numerous clubs and organizations for students to join and grow. If you want to provide the best possible educational and spiritual development for your children, contact Bishop McGuinness Catholic High School or visit bmchs.org. Financial aid is available.
And go to opolisclothing.com and use promo code TED for 10% off our podcast merchandise and the best OU gear out there. That's opolisclothing.com and use promo code TED. Buttery soft and 10% off. As always, Ted, kick us off. Who do you have as your winner of the weekend?
Oh, man. I don't know if there's anything better than when Kenny Dillingham gets a big win, right? Did you see him just bail on the post-game interview and go flying into a massive group of people? How awesome was that?
That was awesome. What a win for Arizona State. Sam Levitt's a baller, dude.
Yeah, he is.
And playing banged up and went out there and was the difference in the game, in my opinion. And this was a Texas Tech team that, and we had talked about it, like all signs pointed to them going unscathed in the Big 12. But Sun Devils get it done, man. That was a huge, huge win for them.
Yep. Levitt was big. Tyson went for 105. Hamilton went for 101 with a couple of long plays. And then, dude, I just love when teams find a way to drive around someone in the fourth quarter and go get the win, right?
Dude, the finish of this game was crazy.
Crazy. Yep. It was wild. I mean, just back and forth. I mean, you give up a big punt return, and
well,
then
the guy not only did they give it up, he shanks the punt, and Aiken gets it like on the bounce, on the run, and returns it to like the 13-yard line.
Yep. And they give up a touchdown on the next play. No big deal. We'll just go down 10 plays, 75 yards, and take the lead and win the football game. Defense holds up on the little scramble 2-minute drill at the end. So it's crazy. You're right. Levitt's he's the real deal, man. He's a playmaker. And athletically, he gets out of trouble a lot and could run around. And I know that Tech got to him, and that was a factor. But when they had to have something, he made plays.
If you just would have showed like the silhouette of him running around on some of these plays, you would have there would have been a lot of people that have been like, that's Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
Because some of these plays he made, like extending the play and then finding guys down the field or taking off and running, like he was incredible, dude.
Yep.
But the end of that game, it felt like the shank punt and the return, like that they had just coughed it up. And that offense found a way. Like that 4th and 2 conversion on that game-winning drive where he finds Jordan Tyson. And Jordan Tyson was like limping around the field, Greg Jennings style. Like he catches it and he's like trying to run and he can't. Like it was like something out of a movie, man. It was college football theater is what it was. The end of that game, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. It was awesome.
Yep.
But Texas Tech, not as invincible as some people wanted to make you lead you to believe. And maybe Baron Morton was the starter for a reason.
Yeah, Morton, and then they lost a defensive tackle in their last game for the season. But hey, you want to see everyone at full strength, but we're 7 games in. Everyone is piling up guys that are going to be gone and battling through injury. So that was when Arizona State has a big win, I just the response and how the fans and how the coach and players react, like that's why you love this sport, right? It's so fun, man. Awesome.
I don't want to rain on Arizona State's parade, but a lot of big jobs are about to be open.
I know. I know.
And it it feels like Dillingham clearly loves that place.
Yep.
But I are they going to be able to pony up what's necessary to keep the guy? Because whether it's Florida, Penn State, I'm not sure. There's going to be more jobs open here over the next couple of weeks as well. And a lot of people are taking notice of what Kenny Dillingham has done with that program.
You have to. You have
He's
to.
electric, man.
Yep.
He's fantastic.
No one gave him much of a shot to do anything early on, and he's turned it around in a hurry. And they've had some really, really big, impressive wins and knocking off Texas Tech's right there up there with the best of them.
I hope he stays at Arizona State. That's what I want for him and for that program. But I'm skeptical.
It's probably going to be expensive.
Oh, it's going to be at least 10 million to keep him.
Whew,
I
maybe right.
I mean, that's what these big jobs that are about to open, like that's the going rate, dude. And
I can't. Yeah,
especially with him, like that's his alma mater. That's where he wants to be. You're gonna have to make it worth my while to get me to leave here, right? It's gonna be the first thing. I don't know who his agent is. I assume it's Jimmy Sexton. I don't know, but that's where the conversation starts for him to leave. There's 10 million.
I I always love how real and honest and upfront Dillingham is whenever he talks to the media. I am fascinated to see what his response is if he gets rumored to any of the open jobs, and because I have a feeling that he will treat it differently than most coaches do. Now, maybe his agent will you know, lay out how we need to approach this and he follows that, but he kind of marches to the beat of a different drum. I'm curious to see what he says if he's asked about it.
I'm with you, man. I hope he stays, but a lot of people are about to be after that man. It's just the truth. All right, who do you have as your loser of the weekend?
Auburn.
Jeez.
It's like it is so incredibly brutal. Um, Great game, physical game, down to the wire. They go to overtime and they just can't get it done. Um, I I hate that for their fans and those players to be as close as they've been in all these games. I thought this was interesting, and I haven't fact checked it, and I saw this on Twitter, so it may be wrong, but I thought this was interesting. Um, Against Oklahoma, A&M, Georgia, and Missouri, Auburn's offense has had 10 drives in the fourth quarter or overtime with a chance to tie or take the lead. The first of those drives was a 14-play touchdown drive against Oklahoma to take the lead in the fourth quarter. The other 9 of those drives went like this: OU, 7 plays, minus 8 yards, safety. A&M, 3 plays, minus 4 yards, punt. A&M, 3 plays, 0 yards, punt. A&M, 4 plays, 3 yards, turnovers on downs. Georgia, 3 plays, 4 yards, punt. Missouri, 6 plays, 35 yards, punt. 1 play, minus yard, end of regulation against Missouri. And then 4 plays, minus 7 yards, missed field goal. 4 plays, 2 yards, turnover on downs. They have put themselves in position to go win a game or tie a game late, and they can't get anything done. I, the fans are like, well, here's a chance to go win it. Not going to happen, but at least we have a chance. And then, it unfolds like that. It's brutal, man. Tough.
As a man I know says, winning is a skill.
Mm, it is.
And it appears Auburn lacks that skill currently. And the truth is, man, I know that the game may have unfolded differently, but if Alex McPherson hits some field goals, they win the game.
Yeah.
I, I mean, I don't know if it's that simple. Maybe Missouri changes their approach if he makes a couple of those, but you're 1 for 4 on field goals. In a one score league, like that is an absolute backbreaker. Yet when you have a chance to get points, you gotta get points.
Yep.
Arnold wasn't great in this game, but like neither was Brabula. Like I thought Auburn's defense played really, really well again.
What what was that 15-yard penalty where the official was like tangled up with the player trying to throw the flag? Like what?
I,
I never saw what actually happened there.
I don't know, dude. It just Auburn feels cursed when it comes to
I
penalties.
know. It was crazy. I did love to see Drinkwitz run on the field celebrating the win when they missed the field goal. That was great.
That highway patrolman was so embarrassed for him. He was like, "Oh no."
He's like, "What do I follow him or do I tell him we missed it? Like, how do I handle
He'll
this?"
figure it out. He'll figure it out. That was, but yes, it was. It was a really strange game, but Auburn just Hugh Freeze just has to go home and go. We just can't win. We don't know how to win.
Yep.
Even in overtime, uh, they missed a field goal. You get a new lease on life. Missouri goes conservative. They miss the field goal. Okay, they score the touchdown. They don't get the 2 point conversion, though. You have the ball in overtime at home with a chance to go win the game. Go score, go get your 2 point conversion, go win the game. And
Nothing.
nothing.
Nothing. I mean,
I,
I don't know. Like it's hard. Like Auburn is in a really tough spot. They've lost four straight, but they're all, they've got an opportunity to be in some of those games. Like they're right there against Oklahoma. They're right there against A&M. Georgia kind of separated late, but have a chance to win in overtime against Missouri. I we just talked about Napier gone at Florida. Like you have to wonder how much more much longer Hugh Freeze can survive there. It's a tough spot. Like I don't know what you do. You feel like they're close, but you're not even seeing like resolve late whenever they have a chance. It's just like they kind of fall apart. So I don't know what they do. They're at Arkansas next, so they better get their defense ready, buddy.
they better score some points because
Better
Arkansas is
score
going to
some
score.
points. Whoo!
Bobby Petrino, Taylor Green are going to have it dialed up, but like they're fun to watch on offense, man.
I
Really fun to
know
watch.
they
So
are.
I don't know what Auburn does, but methinks Freeze isn't going to be there much longer because, and the number one reason I think that is they've played good on defense. He's in charge of the offense. He's an offensive head coach. What has the issue been, Ted?
Offense,
It's
turnovers, and
it's that simple to me. It's like, hey, this is why you're here, man, and you're not getting it done. So,
yeah.
uh,
I, Arkansas game could be the defining point of like his future. If you don't go beat Arkansas on the road, that may be it. I don't know. And then you got Kentucky at home. Like it feels like you have to win both of those games, or that may be it. I don't know though.
let's check. Hold on, real quick, because we like to be very focused when we're doing the pod. Like we're not on our phones a bunch and stuff during this. Florida has fired Billy Napier, so that one happened. I do not see anything where Auburn has fired Hugh Freeze. So if that happens, we'll talk about it on the next episode.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to my winner and loser of the weekend. But first, we are Mando Men. This is actually the deodorant both of us use. And new customers can go to shopmando.com and get 20% off site wide and free shipping with our code OK Breakdown. Cheering for your squad is hard work, which makes the deodorant you choose very important. Mando's sweat control deodorant stick stops odor before it starts, and they have great scents like bourbon leather, Cloverwoods, Mount Fuji, and Pro Sport. Mando's starter pack is also perfect for new customers. It comes with the solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, and free shipping. New customers get 20% off site wide and free shipping on shopmando.com with our code OK Breakdown. That's shopmando.com, code OK Breakdown for 20% off and free shipping for new customers. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Mando's got you covered with deodorant plus sweat control. Say goodbye to sweat stains and hello to long-lasting freshness. This fall, Poncho's got you covered with classics like denim and flannels to new styles like the Western polo and tough thread. Comfortable, durable, and versatile for whatever the season brings. Poncho's denim shirt is great. It's my new go-to denim shirt. Going to be a fall fashion staple for me. I love this thing. And Poncho's flannels are the perfect medium weight, and they have a nice stretch to them. You can never have too many great flannels. You guys know how that goes. Poncho listened to their customers, and they have launched the Western Polo. This thing is a versatile shirt. Go get you one. You'll wear it a ton. And Poncho offers free shipping and free returns because they want you in a shirt that you love. Gear up for fall with Poncho. Every piece is built for comfort, performance, and lasting style. Go to ponchooutdoors.com/OK Breakdown and enter your email for $10 off your first order. That's PONCHO outdoors.com/OK Breakdown for $10 off and free shipping. And when they ask you how you heard about them, let them know the Oklahoma Breakdown sent you. It really helps support the show. All right, for my winner of the weekend, thought about going with BYU. How about the Cougars?
Undefeated.
Undefeated, 7-0. That's pretty good. Kalani Sitake's like the most likable guy of all time. So I love it. But hey, they won their 3rd straight Holy War over Utah. And just it's this simple, man. Completely outplayed him in the 4th quarter. Bear Bachmeier in that offense came alive. He's dragging dudes into the end zone, Ted. Too many mistakes from Utah throughout the game, but what a win for BYU and for Kalani Sitake. And all of a sudden, you look at the top of the Big 12 standings, and BYU is on top. Cincinnati, the only other 4-0 team in that league. And with Tech losing, all of a sudden, the Big 12 feels way more up for grabs, man. It's fun. I like it.
It really is. And BYU, they're at Iowa State next, then they're at Tech, and then they've got TCU at home, and then at Cincinnati. So they play outside of Arizona State. They play the top of the Big 12, basically all on the road coming down the stretch.
We're about to find out if the Cougars are for real or not.
Yep.
That is a rough stretch of conference play. But one more thing on this game. The all blue for BYU versus the all red for Utah. My goodness, how good is that?
It's like the color rush the NFL did.
Oh, it was beautiful. Just as God intended the Holy War to be, a color rush game. It was great. Really, really fun 4th quarter. But yeah.
As far as I know, no bad incidents that went on. I mean, this game way more heated than I ever expected it would have been because the people out there are great. Nice. Until this game.
Yeah. Until they see the other side. People out in Utah get crazy. All right. But my winner of the weekend, I'm going to take Notre Dame. They end up beating the USC Trojans 34-24. And this game was very weird for me, Ted. Like I was being my emotions and my analysis, I was being like torn in different directions because USC was helpless against Notre Dame's running game. But then USC's passing attack was giving Notre Dame a lot of trouble. And like Jacoby Lane scores on that long touchdown, they get the 2-point conversion. And this thing is 24-21 in the late third quarter. But special teams can change a game.
Mm.
Jadorian Price gets that kickoff, takes it 100 yards to the crib, and the Irish kind of felt in control the rest of the way. But still, man, I came away from this game going, USC's pretty good.
Yeah.
Even though they got just trampled by Notre Dame's running game. I don't know, man. It was a real I had mixed emotions as this game ended. I was like, wait, I don't think they were that much better, but it's a 10-point win. I don't know. I was just kind of confused at how this thing unfolded.
Yeah, it was close all the way through. And we've talked about it. USC offensively has multiple ways they can beat you. Last week, they ran it all over Michigan and got the win. And Maava has another big output, threw for 328 against a really good Notre Dame defense. But, credit Notre Dame. We talked about it. They had to have this win. If they want to be considered and make the playoff, they had to have it. The rest of their schedule's pretty blah. So to get this win against USC is pretty big for them.
How about 24 carries for 228 yards for Jeremiah Love?
That is pretty good.
Yeah. They were not doing anything complicated, brother. It was split zone, duo, sprinkled a couple counters in there, and USC just couldn't handle it. And I mean, just mushed them. And that's the thing. I think this game, it kind of fits Lincoln Riley's reputation at USC perfectly. Like, he's not escaping his reputation after this one, because I feel like everyone says against the top tier teams in the sport, they get pushed around at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happened. They only had 68 yards rushing in the game, and Notre Dame ran for a casual 306.
Good night.
So he has failed to get that program where it needs to be at the point of attack. And then I feel like one of the things that people say about him is sometimes he gets a little too cute on offense. In the Ikard and Lehman reverse pass, you're throwing a reverse pass with the wide receiver when it's raining. After a huge play down the field, it just felt like the wrong time to call that play. It was a huge fumble and huge momentum swing in this game.
This has been my main complaint about Lincoln Riley, at least how he calls offense. I feel like there's this overwhelming need for him to insert himself into the game, to where there's like this, what a play call, what a design moment, to where it shifts the attention. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you're rolling and you're doing what you do, and you're throwing it all over the yard and you're having success, you're scoring points, you don't need, you get cute whenever you have to find a way to generate offense,
The passing game, it wasn't, it's not like Maeva had an elite game, but he had some really good moments, man. He threw a couple bad picks trying to make plays. I get that. But I did think Notre Dame as a whole did a solid job of containing Ikard Lehman. He still had 4 for 76, but with some of the output he's had in other games, that is containing that dude.
Yeah. He's been great.
CJ Carr had one of the most hilarious interceptions you'll ever see in this game. I mean, he's running. Now it took points off the board. I don't think Notre Dame fans think it is as funny as I do, but he's just running around like crazy back there, just flings it into the end zone, and you're like, oh, is he gonna make a play? And he just goes right to a USC guy, and you're like, what are you doing, man?
I saw someone on Twitter say, this has to be the worst interception ever.
It was bad. But USC is a hard team to figure out for me because now I didn't think, even despite the way they played against Michigan, like I didn't think they have all their defensive issues figured out, and clearly they don't after what Notre Dame just did to them on the ground. But I I just don't know where they stack up right now in the grand scheme of things in college football. Like I think they're good, but they're not. I with I think there's shortcomings at the line of scrimmage. Like they're just not in the conversation of like a top tier team.
Well, the way I look at it is, uh, like you got the AP top 25, and that's no, like, there's disagreement on where some teams should be ranked always, but um, Ohio State, number two defense, number one in some categories. Indiana, really good defense. Texas A&M is number three, really good defense. Alabama, I mean, I wouldn't say that Alabama's defense is what they've been, but they are a balanced football team, right? They're really solid on both sides. I don't, USC is still too one-sided to be in that group, in my opinion. Really, most of the top 10 teams are, while they may not be elite on both sides, they're really, really solid on both sides. And I still think USC lags behind that.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it. Now, you mentioned Notre Dame had to have this game. And you look at the rest of their schedule, they're going to be favored the rest of the way. 10-2 is looking most likely for them, and we'll see what that means as far as the college football playoff for them. But they really, really needed this win because of what happened on Friday night. All of a sudden, their loss to Miami wasn't looking as good because the Miami Hurricanes dropped their first game of the year in the Friday nighter to Louisville, and that makes the Miami Hurricanes my loser of the weekend.
Mm.
4 interceptions for Carson Beck. None worse than the one at the end of the game where he basically said, hey, tight end did not run the right route. I mean, just threw the dude under the bus, which I'm a little torn on because he looks like a complete idiot. If that guy did run the wrong route and it's that guy's fault, then hey, I know some people say, hey, you're the quarterback. You gotta eat it, man. That's what comes with the position. I I've never been in that situation. I'd like to think I'd be, take the blame, but if that guy really ran the wrong route, makes you look like an idiot. I don't. Is there really something wrong with him being like, hey, just miscommunication, wrong route? It's not like he said this guy ran the wrong route. It's all his fault. He just kind of
Right.
mentioned it in a passive way.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you lose, right? If if you would have won that game and hey, what happened on the interception at the end of the game or late? Just, miscommunication, ran the wrong route. I thought he was going to be in a bit like it lands differently, but after a loss, everyone's got the magnifying glass out.
I I was impressed with Louisville, man. They got some playmakers. They got some absolute playmakers like Chris Bell on a field that had a lot of good players on, especially on Miami's side. I'm not sure Louisville didn't have the best player on the field.
Yeah.
Now, maybe that's not fair because Ruben Bain, but I thought they did a nice job of kind of limiting Bain's impact in this game. But, dude, Bell, he caught the ball in some of the quick game, and then he just took it to the house. Like, that dude looked amazing. Hit the yard, the yak that man racked up was, I mean, I thought it was the difference in the game.
Yeah. And you're right. Like for Virginia or for Miami, they find themselves in a tough predicament right now because, you got Georgia Tech and Virginia that are undefeated there at the top of the ACC, and Miami doesn't play either one of them now. And those two teams don't play each other either. And SMU is also undefeated in conference anyways. And Miami does have to play them, but if they win out, they'll make it in. But I don't know that they're going to make it to the ACC championship now. I mean, they're going to have to be perfect the rest of the way through, and they should be considering their schedule. But you know, people also thought that before they played Louisville. So see how they respond.
I think I think most people they're like super dialed into college football recognize that Carson Beck is not like he had not been some huge game changer at the quarterback position, but I think a lot of people acknowledge that Miami was really good at the line of scrimmage on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And in this game, I just got to call it how I see it, man. Like Louisville outplayed him at the point of attack.
Yeah.
Isaac Brown ends up with 113 yards rushing. I What Miami run for? 63 yards. Mark Fletcher only had 8 carries.
And
They
Beck
got to
was,
Beck a bunch, like a couple of those interceptions, like he's getting smoked in the face.
yep. And then that roughing the passer call late in that game was so bad. So bad. But, whatever. Fact is, Louisville was getting home.
Well, if Isaac Brown doesn't fumble midway through the fourth quarter, like I think Louisville ends up putting it on them, dude. But
Yeah.
they fumble and Malachi Tony scores on the next play. And all of a sudden you look at it, you're like, wait, it's 24-21. What's going on here?
Yeah, I know it. That's how quickly things can change. But, it's crazy. It's just another low scoring type football game. There's a lot of those, man. It feels like the days of like the 60-point games are, at least for the time being, you're not seeing that around the sport, man. It's close and lower scoring than it's been in years past. At least that's the feeling.
Can you help me understand something?
Maybe.
And I know maybe it's a Mario Cristobal game management situation, but it's kind of how we managed the end of the first half against Texas. Like, why are teams so scared to go score? Like the way that, and I know he throws an interception. They're in field goal range. Not great. You're feeling like you can kick the field goal to tie the game right there. Like, I get that. But it's like they were so afraid to leave any time on the clock for Louisville that they're like not using their timeouts. I don't know. What is up with teams getting so scared of trying and going score and leaving, God forbid, a few seconds on the clock for the opponent? I don't understand it. Go win the game, man.
Go win the game and then figure out a way to get a stop with your defense. I mean,
Exactly.
That's what they're there for.
I feel like some of these offenses and these coaching staffs are just paralyzed by these situations. It's like, we can't score too fast. We can't score. Like, dude, just go score and let whatever happens. Go score.
Yeah.
Operate at a normal pace and go score.
Yeah. You can use.
It drives me nuts, dude.
I know there's a time to use the clock as a weapon, but it cannot get you off of the track of what you need to do to go win the game.
I don't understand it. I don't get it at all. The only other thing I don't understand in this game, and I can't really criticize them because they won the game, but Louisville, it's your biggest game of the year. Can we wear a helmet that's got our logo on it and doesn't just say cards in cursive? What was that? That's not a big game helmet. Louisville, what are we doing?
I mean, and they kind of are like, but it makes you look like it just kind of looks like a second tier program, and they don't have like that go-to logo that everyone knows, but
the angry looking Cardinal's not bad.
I'm with you.
It's not bad. It's better than cards in cursive
But
on
yeah,
a shiny red helmet. I mean, that's not a big game helmet.
When you're playing the number 2 team in the country on a Friday night with no other competition, let's use that as a way to advertise our brand, please.
They won the game though, so
yeah, that'll do it. That's the best advertisement you can get.
What do we know? Jeff Brom can coach, man. I know that. Louisville's another one of those programs. We talked about it with Dillingham in Arizona State. Louisville, they got to be looking over their shoulder a little bit like, please no one look over here.
A lot of the responses to the win that Louisville had over Miami was, "I'd like that guy to be coaching our football team, please."
I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, I know what my answer is, but if you think, do you think Miami loses that game if Jeff Brom's coaching Miami? Maybe that's not a fair question. There's a conversation. Oh, do they have the same players? Is he the recruiter? Mario is. I get it. I get it. I get it. But it felt like the team that was better coached won the game.
Yeah. You know, success is a hell of a thing. And whenever everyone's telling you you're unbeatable and you're the best team in the country, it has a tendency to creep into the locker room. So um I don't know. It's hard to know those dynamics and how much that, led to anything that happened on the field. But um I'll just say this. I like the way he coaches and I like the way his team plays for him.
I like how much he yells.
Seems like a no nonsense type of guy.
Knows where the weight room is, too. He's filling out
Yeah.
that polo nicely. Good job,
Mhm.
Jeff Brom. Big win.
Big win.
And maybe ultimately, similar to the Bama Florida State situation, maybe this was exactly what Miami needed.
Yeah.
Similar to Ohio State a year ago against Michigan. Like maybe this is exactly what the Miami Hurricanes needed. But the aura of invincibility is gone now.
Yep.
So we'll see. We'll see how the rest of the season unfolds for him. Birthday shout outs. Happy 4th birthday to Jackson Connor Bostwick.
Happy 9th birthday to Gage Bymaster.
Happy 14th birthday to Camden Cox.
Happy 18th birthday to Sophie Fry.
Happy 19th birthday to Preston Lemons.
Happy 26th birthday to Lily Vanner.
Happy 39th birthday to Ryan Lamley.
Happy 53rd birthday to Matthew John Brown from your boys, Braden and Brennan.
Happy birthday to Kristen Bymaster.
Happy birthday to Kelsey Pacey.
Paysse. I can tell you with 100% confidence that's the first time I've seen this last name in my life. The double S is throwing me off.
Kelsey Pace is what I'm going with.
Pacey? Dude, I don't know. Pacey? Happy birthday, Kelsey. And happy birthday to Ryan Emmerich. On that note, episode 573 in the books. We'll have a new podcast that'll drop on Wednesday. Of course, we will preview OU Ole Miss. Just a reminder, please subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, make sure you check out our website, okbreakdown.com. Hope you all have a great start to your week. Until next time, we appreciate y'all for listening. Do what you always do, Oklahoma. Take care of each other.